credit cards is at a all-time high when it comes to credit card defaults in the first 9 months. And that just goes to show that there's a lot of people that were in credit card debt. But I'm gonna play this and let you hear it, and I'll comment on it and we'll go back and forth on it.
Money Watch, alarming new numbers that show rising default rates on credit card loans now at the highest level since just after the 2008 financial crisis. Card lenders wrote off a whopping $46 billion in debt in the first 9 months of the year. Our Money Watch correspondent Kelly O'Grady is here. So, Kelly, first tell us, what does it mean when a credit card company writes off an amount like this? Because when I think of write-offs, I think of write-offs for your taxes.
Totally fair. So basically what this means is the credit card company is saying, we don't think that the borrower is going to be able to pay us back that debt. So we're just going to say that, that we're going to write that off. And what this tells us is the lower income consumer is really strapped and it's getting worse. And just for context, that write-off value, it's not the highest, only the highest that we've seen in 14 years. It's 50% more than last year.
50% more than last year? That's unbelievable.
So I'm gonna stop you right there. Essentially what's happening, man, is a lot of people are man, floating credit cards month to month. You making it stretch. So basically, I will bring myself to the front of the congregation. I've done that before in my younger days, where maybe I didn't make a lot of money, or I didn't make a lot of money, but honestly, it really was I was negligent with my finances. So what I would do was I would use a credit card to pay for something in hopes that, okay, I'll just wait, for the next check, I cover the next check. But what happens is it's like a game of musical chairs. And what happens is you keep floating it month to month. But what's happening is it keeps increasing, the balance keep increasing, and you keep paying the minimal or a little bit more than the minimal. And then what happens is if you lose that job or you get laid off, now you have this debt that you can't pay. And so then it spirals out of control. And especially if you already weren't good at your money management and being a good steward of your finances, it just gets out of control. And let me tell you something. I don't think anyone set out when a person is using a credit card. I would give most people the benefit of the doubt that they were saying to themselves, I'm going to eventually pay this back. I'm gonna pay it back. I'm gonna pay it off month to month. I'm gonna pay it off. And then before you know it, you in deep, and then you blink, you in $50,000 in credit card debt or 20,000, and you're like, and you think about it like, what happened? Any insight on that?
I just my mind just goes straight towards the company in terms of I think this news story is painting it. There's either two possibilities that can come out of this. Either these credit card companies are losing money and they need to figure out something quick, or these credit card companies are making money. And the people that are getting the loans and paying them back on time or paying them back with interest, they're paying for those loans that just got written off. That's what I'm thinking about. It's either one of those two. And so I'm just wondering, why would they continue to make these loans? Because they said it's 50% more than last year. So this happened last year on a smaller scale. But I'm just curious on how I just can't wrap my mind around a company saying, I mean, I can get it. They know they're not getting the money back, but I can't wrap my mind around them saying, okay, well, I don't hear anything about what they're going to do about it next year. What are they going to do to prevent the 50% increase next year?
Yeah, so I fast forwarded the screen here and I'll exit in a second. The other thing that I wanted to bring up here. So the rise in credit card delinquency. So years of rising prices, they're blaming it on prices rising. And then credit card interest rate, which is predatory, bro,
Yeah.
above 25%. And then they're also mentioning the depleting savings accounts rate. So let me
Yep.
stop sharing and it just be us having a back and forth. But man, the credit cards, man, that credit card, and you get lured in. Oh, it's the points and this and that. And like I've always said in previous videos, even myself, who pays off, who pays it off every year, I mean every year, every month, I know I spend more money. because I use credit cards. It's convenient, but and so we have to be real with ourselves. Like we're spending more money, but imagine a person that doesn't make enough money to cover the excess. Like, and you need every single, and that don't get it twisted. I need every single dollar too. So like, don't get that. Like, let me not say, like
Right.
frame it in that way. But like, things are a little bit more tighter for you. And to your point, I think where you're probably going is they know that some people are gonna get caught up in credit card debt, right? Like they know that some people they're gonna pay it off month to month, no harm, no foul. They're not really gonna get much interest off that person, but they do know that they still are gonna spend a little bit more too.
Yeah.
But there's some people that are just gonna get swept up in the credit card debt. And so it's definitely playing with a double-edged sword, a sword for real. But you know, yeah, it's always interesting with the credit card conversation. You got Dave Ramsey, that says cut up your credit card, and he got the
Yeah.
scissors. I understand that part of it. Then you got the person on the other end, and like I really need it for the points. I fall somewhere in the middle. My thing is if you know you're not good with your finances already, probably need to put that credit card up.
Yeah, I would agree. It's adds too much margin for error, too much room for error. You start moving different when you have a credit card versus when you just got a debit or cash. Like you were saying that it made me think about just last night or the day before. We were at a restaurant and pat my pocket. Okay, I got my wallet in my pocket. Okay, cool, we're good. It comes time to pay. Okay, let me, before the check comes, because I'm the type of person I want to I hate when there's confusion when the check comes because we all knew the check was coming. Why is there confusion? So, okay, check's coming soon. Let me pull out my wallet. I don't see my Amex. I started panicking a little bit because I just knew I was going to throw it on the table and handle whatever was coming, but I couldn't find the Amex. So I had to go check my account real quick and let me make sure. But I had enough, but still, I had to. There's some urgency came through when I couldn't find that Amex. So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. But I fall more on the spectrum of I get both sides of the arguments. No credit cards, or some people would just go the exact opposite. I finance everything, no matter what. But I find that for me, I just really like, and maybe I don't know, maybe this is just good marketing. Maybe this is big credit then got to me a little bit too. But I just feel more safe processing everything on a credit card and then going back through and paying it with debit. But I mean, I think to each his own. Everyone should run their system in a way that makes it best for you. That makes it most convenient and simple for you. That's the system that's most simple for me. And so, but like you said, with that system, even it allows even the most disciplined of players to cheat just a little bit. You know what I mean? And so you just have to buffer that in. The most disciplined players will buffer in a little bit more cheat room for that. Like, okay, maybe add an extra 20 or 30 or however many dollars to your fund budget, whatever you need to do to accommodate for that. But just know that credit card, like Kenny's not lying when he says you feel a little bit more power when you spend that when you swiping credit versus debit.
Yeah, and understand you're not going to beat the credit card company. Like as long as you're clear on that, you're not going to beat the credit card company. You're thinking, "Oh, I'm getting over." Don't play yourself. Like they've done research on this. They understand human behavior, their emotions, how they operate. They've done the research on how you feel when you pay with cash versus card, and it is scientific. It is proven that you spend more money when you. I don't have my wallet. Yeah, I don't have my. I think my wallet in my truck. Yeah, I
Yep.
don't have it. But anytime, like
Man.
kind of like what you said, anytime that you have a credit card and it's disassociated with like your money, like money. You're like, oh, just put it on the card. We'll get it later. How you want to pay? Oh, just put it on the credit card. Ah, just put it on the. But like, if you're taking the money, because dang, I wish I had my wallet up here. But but if you take cash out of your wallet and you give it to someone, you're like, okay, do I really need this, or do I really
Yep.
like? It's making you take that extra second, and then especially when you start getting down to your last bit of cash, you like. Do I really need to do that? Or it just really make you have that extra layer of thought of like, "Mm, actually, I'm gonna pass on that. Like I'm good on that."
it's just something about that credit. And the funny thing is, with that story, he ended up bringing the Apple Pay thing to the table, so I ended up using my credit card anyway. So I just, but still, if it was just funny, I was like that different. It felt different. I started counting. Okay, and the tip's gonna be this much, and this. I started calculating. Okay.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. And last thing here, and it's funny because I've been out before, and I happened to look over. A few months ago, and I looked over, and I saw somebody. They had a phone, and, I don't know how. I guess because I have my glass on, I can see it.
Calculating.
And I was like, baby boo. I call my wife baby boo. I said, baby boo, look. I said they just pulled up their bank account to double check their account before they made their payment. So like, hey, we think we all different, but you'd be surprised. We're more alike than different, man. When it comes to money, we all emotional. We all like do the same type of things in some type of way. Some are a little bit better with finances than others, but it's funny to see certain things or certain behaviors you've had in the past, and you see somebody doing it. You're like, dang, I remember I used to do that, or hey, maybe I still do that. You know, so
Yeah.
it's just kind of funny.